Welcome back to the AB Scout Project. I'm Krieger. This is Off Bravo. And today we're going to lead off with the Skywarp and Sideswipe Amazon exclusive pack. So we've got the Beast Wars Skywarp here, and it's pretty obvious it's not going to compete with the G1 Skywarp. And as far as I can tell, they're supposed to be separate characters, unlike the Magnaboss Silverbolt was actually supposed to be the Aerial Bot Silverbolt. So we can just say that these two are separate characters. The Earthrise remains the Skywarp of G1. What this guy is a redo of is the Beast Wars 2 Skywarp. See if we can get that guy to stand. Mine's a knockoff here, but as far as I can tell, it has all the articulation of the original. You can see the original was pretty much the basic ball joints and all that, where you've got the extra swivels and extra engineering of the new mold. And so far, the new mold definitely looks a lot better, and of course, a lot more advanced engineering. The Skywarp is based off of the Air Razor mold, so bring her in. And we see that everything's pretty much the same. They just did a new head sculpt, which I appreciate. We'll go ahead and see if we can get a better look at that. It's pretty neat. They actually got the eagle head combined on top. So pretty good. We'll take a look at the beast mode. The beast mode looks pretty good. My only big complaint about it is that there's a slight difference between a peregrine falcon and a bald eagle head, but that's not here nor there. Otherwise, it still looks really good. You know, and I really like this mold. I mean, just how many joints they put in the wings so you can adopt all the different bird poses. I mean, this mold is really great as far as a good bird beast mode. I mean, then of course another detail on that, they actually bothered to paint the nails. I thought that was pretty neat detail. We bring in the Air Razor. She didn't get her nails painted, but as you can see, they pretty much kept all the same beast components. So they are nothing changed besides the robot head. Everything else is the same. Compared to my knockoff of the original, well, the knockoff doesn't like to stand, kind of. But you can see the knockoff, at least of the original, is very more broad-headed and not as many joints. He's just pretty much sitting there. This one is definitely a much better mold, a much better beast mode. So to wrap up Skywarp, I think this is a really good representation of him. This mold works really well for him and for Air Razor. Great head sculpt. I think this will do for your shells if you want a specifically Beast Wars 2 Skywarp. Next up is Skywarp's companion in the 2-pack, Sideswipe. This is the Earth mode as opposed to the Cybertron mold that we got several times from Siege and follow-ups and Generation Selects, and they like this mold a lot. But anyway, we got the new Sideswipe mold, the Earth mode with the Lamborghini-ish alt mode. When I saw the first renders, I thought the chest looked huge, but in hand, the chest looks acceptable. It all looks really good. I like how they did the whites on it as a very flat but bright white, so it looks a lot like the animation models. And you kind of see it next to the whites on the Siege over here, that it pops a lot more. I mean, otherwise, but you look between the two, it looks like pretty much all that got swapped, that got remolded, is the vehicle mode kibble. So back here, the chest, the back that you can't see through the jetpack here. But the arms got some slight remolding on them too, just to, again, vehicle kibble. Forearms are the same, thighs are the same, feet are the same. but basically just cleaned them up, made them look a lot more like the animation model. All right, let's take a look at the vehicle mode. Actually, before we go to vehicle mode, take up one detail as far as the weapons goes. He came with the gun that we saw that came with Red Alert and a couple of the Gen Selects. It's not quite Sideswipe's. Mine, the one I designed, is a bit closer to Sideswipe's actual weapon. The other change they made to the weapons was the missile up here. It actually still comes off like the original, but they took off the hand peg, so that it actually looks more like a missile than just a small handgun that they put into the barrel of their launcher. So I really appreciate that change. All right, now we'll go to vehicle mode. All right, thought I'd go to a more top-down angle so you can see the difference between the two. And you can see that the vehicle mode is pretty much completely redone. I mean, even the back of the shoulders, the doors, the sides, the back, they've completely redone the vehicle mode. The engineering for the robot mode is pretty much the same, but the vehicle mode is definitely a lot closer to that Lamborghini G1 look. Granted, it doesn't have the spoilers, and I'm sure somebody will come out with a pack that'll add them. My only complaint about the vehicle mode is that the gap along the hood here, mine doesn't like to stay up there, so you can kind of see the light coming through that gap right along the top of the chest. The Siege has a little bit, you can kind of see daylight in there, but it doesn't seem as bad as the new one does. But otherwise, the vehicle mode, Lamborghini-ish enough, has that LBS or Diablo type side window. Looks great. So, does he dethrone the Siege for your G1 Sideswipe? I'm going to say yes. It looks a lot more animation accurate. They did the MP Plus anime look to him, where they gave him the better whites for the mold. It's not as dull as the Siege. Overall, I buy it. In fact, when I do the ceremonial transfer of the weapons, I'm going to go ahead and keep his shoulder launcher because they did take that extra peg off, so it looks good. So we will transfer the backpack that came with the Centurion pack, so he can have his jetpack. The gun, I'm probably going to have to reprint that in a brighter white or paint this one a flat white. That'll be done down the road. For now, you can keep that one until I paint this one. But the Kingdom or Earth mode or 2-pack Sideswipe is definitely our new winner for G1. Finally today, we're going to take a look at the Cyberverse Deluxe Cheetor. Now, as you can see, he's definitely a more stylized Cheetor, so he's not going to take the place of our Beast Wars Kingdom or Netflix version over here. So we'll go ahead and put that aside, and we'll put the Netflix Cheetor side. So we'll just look at him as the Cyberverse Cheetor. And as you can see, this is a lot better than the Battle Armor version we got earlier. I mean, they got even got the arms hanging off the back. I think he looks pretty good. He looks even better when you take off all the accessories they decided he needed. I mean, he can keep the swords. The swords look good. But I think, stripped down, he looks a lot better. The beast mode looks okay. I mean, it's the typical robot falls forward and you have a beast mode type of thing. You can see how he looks with his mask on there and his tail out there. A lot of hollowness in the back there. Although, it's alright. I mean, again, it looks a lot better without the extra stuff they decided to saddle him with. I mean, I'm even taking the swords off. I There, that's better. I don't like that they made the lower jaw a different color. I mean, that just looks weird and kind of disconnects the jaw from the rest of the face. But otherwise, I think it looks a lot better without the extra armor and claws they decided to give him. So is he the new Cheetor for your Beast Wars shelf? No, this is definitely the Cyberverse aesthetic. Is it a very good toy? I'll say it's a good toy. It's really posable. It's got everything that the Cyberverse Deluxes have. And it's a really good representation if you like the Cyberverse Cheetor. Overall, though, he's going to be relegated to just the Cyberverse shelf. That's it for today. Thanks for joining us today on the AB Scale Project. If there's a character you'd like to see, put your request in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll see y'all later.